Welcome back to the deep dive. If you're a serious gamer, you definitely know about the huge kind of gray market for buying and selling in-game stuff.
Oh, yeah. Things like rare skins, maybe whole accounts, game currency. It's massive.
It really is. A
Mm.
huge business, and often it's totally outside what the game developers actually want or control.
And today, we're zeroing in on one specific platform in that space, Eldorado.gg. It's one of the bigger names out there.
Right. Our sources really focused on them. They handle assets for some blockbuster games, think
Mhm.
CSGO, PUBG, Fortnite, the big ones.
Exactly.
So our mission today really is to look at all this info we've gathered and figure out, is Eldorado.gg actually seamless and secure like they claim?
Or, do the user reports paint a different picture, maybe something unreliable, even risky for you to use? That's what we need to unpack.
Let's start with the positives then. What's the pitch? What does Eldorado want gamers like you to think?
Well, on the surface, it looks pretty good. They really market themselves as legit.
Hmm.
They promise, fast transactions, items delivered as promised, and they highlight safety features, things like buyer protection, 247 customer support.
Okay, so features designed to make you feel safe, theoretically.
Theoretically, yes. That's the core of their credibility claim. It should protect your money if something goes wrong.
Right, should. But if that buyer protection is solid and things are so quick, why are we seeing so many reports, so much frustration about delays
Mhm.
and people not getting their money?
Yeah, that's where things start to look shaky. The reality seems to be, well, inconsistent reliability, highly inconsistent.
Inconsistent how?
Some transactions might be fine, quick even, but then you have these widespread reports about an aggressive sort of financial setup that seems to trap sellers.
Trap sellers, how does that work?
Well, one source pointed out that delays often happen around the KYC process. That's the Know Your Customer verification.
KYC after the sale? That seems backwards.
Exactly. So a seller makes a successful sale, maybe a big one, then suddenly Eldorado demands all this verification.
And that holds things up.
It can lock up the funds for weeks, apparently, before the seller can even think about withdrawing, and then there's another hurdle.
What's that?
Unexpected fees. We saw this report from, let's call them Gamertag44. They waited 90 days for about $500.
90 days?
Yeah. And then, boom, a surprise 15% processing fee suddenly appeared, something they'd never seen mentioned before.
Wow. Okay, that complexity, those sudden fees, definite red flags. And you mentioned transparency issues earlier. What about the company itself?
That's maybe even more concerning, honestly, the lack of transparency.
What did the sources find? Or rather, not find?
It was extremely hard to find clear info about the company's background, and crucially, like a verifiable physical address.
Yes.
Pretty much impossible to pin down.
The entity behind it is basically invisible.
Right, and that's not just some minor detail. It has real consequences for you, the user.
How does lacking an address impact a gamer trying to buy a skin?
It's about recourse. If you get ripped off, or if they just hold your funds unfairly, trying to take legal action against a company you can't even physically locate, good luck.
So they're protected, and you're not.
Pretty much. Maximum protection for them, basically zero for you. But there's an even bigger risk here.
Bigger than losing money?
Yeah. The thing every gamer has to understand is that using these third-party platforms like Eldorado.gg almost always violates the game's terms of service, the TOS.
The giant legal document everyone clicks agree on without reading.
That's the one. And violating it by buying or selling outside the official channels has potentially serious consequences.
Okay, so what's the direct consequence here?
Yeah.
What happens if you use Eldorado and the game developer finds out?
It's not just losing the item you bought or the money you spent. It's the very real risk of getting your entire gaming account banned permanently.
Permanently banned. Wow.
Think about that. You could lose an account you've poured hundreds, maybe thousands of hours into. Maybe hundreds of dollars, too, on official items. All gone.
Just for buying something off platform.
Exactly.
So let's try and synthesize this. The dilemma seems pretty clear.
Yeah.
Eldorado.gg might look tempting for quick trades.
Yeah, the appeal is obvious.
But its reliability's all over the place, the company's structure is opaque, and you're running this huge risk of an account ban. It makes it really hard to confidently say, yeah, go use it.
Absolutely. So the main takeaway for you has to be careful. Stick to the official in-game stores or marketplaces.
Or maybe other really well-known trusted platforms if they exist. Ones with clear rules and oversight.
Right. That's really the only way to be sure you're protecting that huge time investment you have in your gaming accounts.
Which leaves us with a final thought, really. A question for you to mull over. Is the convenience of maybe getting a quick deal on some unofficial marketplace really worth the potential catastrophe of losing your entire gaming account?
Especially when that means potentially years of your time and effort just gone.
Yeah.
Something to think about next time you're browsing.